Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Veronica Kofi, and I'll be your host for today's STEM interactive discussion. I'm one of the representatives of Teen-Led Foundation, and one of our objectives as Teen-Led is to inspire and enlighten young ones, thus reasserting a sense of hope for the future through personal development. We seek to provide mentor, leadership, coaching for young adults. We also want to empower young people to actually make positive strive towards the future. Currently, we are live on Facebook. Please, if you haven't liked our page, do that for us now. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. During this session, please, if you have any question, kindly do drop them in the comment box if you are on Facebook with us. If you are joining us live on our Zoom, you can wave to me and then you'll be given the opportunity to ask your question. Or you can also do that by dropping your question in the chat box so that we will read it out for our speaker. So tonight, this evening, we are delighted to be joined by another wonderful person. And I'm privileged and humbled to invite our guest speaker. I'm privileged and humbled to have with me Dr. Osabutey. Doctor, please, you are welcome.
Thank you, Veronica.
All right. It's nice having you here. Please, for the benefit of everyone watching and our viewers, could you kindly tell us about your to know you better?
All right. So you said my name. I'm Anita Osabutey, doctor. I'm a very young girl, pretty young. I'm sure I'm the youngest among the crew here. In my dreams, I know. I'm a Kumasi based. I work at Komfo Anokye. I'm in the surgical department. I'm currently a medical officer, like that's a rank in the field with the surgical department. I'm from a quite of a large family, a family of 7. I have 5 other siblings. I'm the 3rd born. I love to cook. Aside medicine, I love to cook. And I love to cook jollof best. I think it's a brief introduction. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Please, would you do us a favor by telling us where you had your basic education? Because you said you come from Kumasi, that's in the Ashanti region. We'd want to know whether you had your basic school there, or maybe you had an opportunity to be in another region for your basic school. How was?
Oh, okay. So primarily, I've lived in Kumasi all my life, but that's not my hometown for my dad. So I was born in Kumasi. I've lived in Kumasi all my life. I had my part of my basic school in Matters of Uganda, unless the Kumasi people will know, and I moved to a Fobo Educational Complex for my junior high school. They are all Kumasi schools. I'm sure just the Kumasi people will be privileged to know about it. Not too popular.
That's wonderful. You mentioned, I would want to ask a bit about your family, being in a family of 7 and being the 3rd born. How has life been so far? I mean, has it been difficult with that large number compared to others with 2 and 3?
Let's say not much of a difficulty. We grew up together because like me and my brother are very close, just a year apart. So we behave like twins because we are very close, even in the same class. You can imagine, not too much of a challenge. Yeah, you always have a lot of people around, so you can call a lot of people. But sometimes you just want your peace and you don't really have that because there's noise always.
Thank you. Getting to know that you've had all your education in Kumasi, we'd want to know what course you offered in SHS, that's the senior high school, and why? Why did you take that particular course?
Okay, so I went to St. Louis Senior High School and I did get into science then. I'm more biased to science because I come from a medical family. My mom and my dad are all medics. And then growing up, we grew up in a medical environment. So we're all a bit biased towards science because that's what we only know. We don't really have other professions around. So we didn't know much about general arts. So growing up, we were just science, and then nothing else. So at least we were just all inspired to do science. So my siblings, we are all science students, technically.
That's very inspiring. So if we get you clear, means that you took your inspiration from your family. That's your mom, your dad.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, going to the medical school, we want to know which university. You know, we in Ghana here, we have the University of Cape Coast, that is in Cape Coast. We have University of Ghana, that is Legon in Accra. Also, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Among these universities, please, would you tell us which of them you had your university education?
So, as a Kumasi girl, I went to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And now, luckily for us, I think we have a lot of medical schools. We have like 6 medical schools, 4 government, 2 private. So there's more to the list.
That's wonderful. It means all your education, I mean, you had all your education in Kumasi.
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
Yeah.
I would want to ask, during your time in the university, was the class, the male to female ratio, was it high or low? I mean, how was the class number compared to the male?
So technically 50-50. I think now for some years now, we've been doing more 50-50 male to female ratio in the medical school. My class was also 50-50. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Then it's very inspiring compared to that class to being in an engineering school where we have just a fewer percentage of the female in a class.
Yes,
I think you had a very wonderful experience in class. We would want to go further and ask, what was your experience in medical school? If you want to look back, is there anything that you think you would have done differently if you had to do it all over again?
Maybe relax more, have fun, because I don't think I did anything aside studying all through my 6 years in school. It was just books. And I think if I'm to go back, I'll relax more. I'll participate in some activities, maybe class dinner, class games. I literally didn't do anything of those things. Because it's actually made my life a bit stereotypic. I don't really have anything doing aside work, and then it's not too good. You also need some form of relaxation. So I think if I'm supposed to go back, I'll really be a bit involved in certain activities, I'm sure.
Wow. It wasn't easy, I can tell. There is this assumption that medicine is difficult. Could you tell us your view about it? From what you just said, I mean, you said if you should be given the chance to go back, you'd want to have more time to do other things. Could you tell us your assumption, your views to that particular assumption about medicine?
So with the course, I think the difficulty. So with the course, the difficulty comes about more with the volume. So there's a lot of volume to occupy, and that's where the difficulty is. It's not really with the context. The context is like basic biology, but the volume, you have a lot to read. And it's not like you read and then throw away. Whatever you learn in first year, you literally have to keep it till final year and keep it forever. So it's the load you have to keep. I think that's the issue that brings about the difficulty, but not necessarily, because I think engineering is much more complex and sophisticated with calculations. It's very complex, I think so. Ours is pretty simpler, but the load, and the words are big. And imagine certain words are going to haunt you forever and ever. I think that's the difficulty.
Wow, the words are big. That's interesting. Please, for those joining us right now, we've been trying to get to know more about our speaker, where she had her education, and so far we've known a bit about her profession as a medical doctor. Now we would like to delve more into her profession as a doctor, a medical doctor. For those of our viewers joining us now, please, if you've not liked our page, kindly do that for us. We also have subscribe to our YouTube channel, Teen-Led Foundation. Doc, please, would you tell us, when people say a medical doctor, what do they do? And where can you find a medical doctor?
So simply, doctors are there to treat sicknesses and they are found in the hospital. That's just the basic one. But in current terms, a doctor is more complex than you can imagine, and what they do is complex. So now it's becoming more specialized. So a doctor is just a big umbrella. We have a doctor who only takes care of kids. We have a doctor who only fixes bones. We have a doctor who only takes care of the eyes. So the work will actually come from where you do. Now that's where the world is turning. So everybody is going more specialized. So in just a summary, we all tackle diseases, try to help people when you're sick. But as to what any particular person does, it depends on where you are. So in my field, I'm more surgical inclined. So we do more of surgeries, general surgeries. I'm sure the guys who know appendix, hernia, that's my field. There's somebody who treats kids, that's pediatrician. So what they do will vary on where you find yourself. But generally, our aim is to help people who are sick, give them necessary treatment, follow up with them, ensure that they've recovered fully. Yeah, that's basically what we do in general.
Wow. Doctors, they have the aim just to save life. That's all that they do in general. Doc, please, we would want to know how your daily routine as a medical doctor is for a normal day. A typical day, how does it go for you, being in the surgery department, just as you've made us understood?
So it varies because every day in what you do, we are more team inclined. So Monday for me is a clinic day, consulting room day. So I'm more in the clinic. Tuesday is general ward rounds. So for Tuesdays, the whole team, you're comprised of 6, we go on rounds and we discuss the patients. Wednesday is like just a normal day for me. Thursday is my most busy day. I'm on duty, emergency duty for 24 hours. And Friday, I'm in theater. So like, you don't really have a typical day. It's more on a particular day what you have to do. So my terrible days are Thursdays and Fridays. That's, I can do like close to 48 hours because I'm on duty, and then if there's theater, we have to stay for theater. Mondays not too busy. Tuesdays can be busy. Wednesdays not too busy. Yeah, that's my typical routine.
That's such a tedious job to do. For those of us who are on Zoom and on Facebook, please, if you have any question, kindly drop it in the chat box for us. And if you are here on Zoom, you can also wave so that we call you to ask your question. We are now trying to know what Dr. Anita Osabutey do. Doctor, please, we want to know that so far, being at the surgery department, what have been your greatest achievements in the career?
Okay, so in a career, in a career as a profession, as like in my whole career, I think I have a greater achievement, and in my subspecialty I do. So I think the greatest achievement is when I graduated from medical school. I was privileged to graduate as the best student. I had Ghana Medical Association award, and it was like, is it me? Because out of a class of close to 200, and then I can't believe that I'm making all these things. So at least all my extensive sacrifices without that relaxation paid, let's say that was the compensation for not having small fun. So I think that's my greatest achievement. But in terms of the surgical fields, there are some cases you least expect the patient to survive, but you don't give up. You go in or out. Some maybe surgeries you least expect to make it. And when the patient turn out good, you are so happy. I remember there was this near amputation of the hand. We weren't sure if we put the hand back it would survive, but it went. And everybody was happy. It's like we almost
Thank you.
mm-hmm.
Thank you, Doc. With such an experience, as for me, I know it wouldn't have been easy being in a surgery room, seeing all such things happening. I mean, I know if if I don't run away, I'm sure maybe I'll just close my eyes and then watch the patient suffer, because I can't stand the fact that there's blood coming out from somebody's body. It's really scary. With all these experiences, has there been any situation or incident that you thought of just quitting the job or maybe giving up on the field of job?
As for now, I haven't really had a really bad trigger to make me want to stop. Maybe someday I will, but sometimes you have certain form of, excuse me, say ingratitude, and then you go lean out for your patients, and then they don't see it like that. Sometimes it can hurt, but I don't think it actually pushed me to want to quit. Maybe later something will push me to quit, but as it stands now, I haven't really had that experience yet.
I pray that nothing makes you stop this journey, because it's actually a good thing to help save life. And so keep the fire burning and keep the hopes up. I know so far you've said that being a medical doctor or a medical officer, you have a lot of loss, and that sometimes you don't even get time for yourself. But as you've gotten to this stage in the field, is there anything that you do aside medicine? Do you have anything that you do when you are not in that busy schedule?
So I love to cook.
What do you do?
I love to cook. I think aside work, cooking. So initially I used to cook on more business basis, but now I've stopped because I don't have my time. I love to cook. I cook jollof very well. Ghana jollof. I'm an expert.
Wow. Please, after this show, I'll come to you for a special jollof.
Feel free.
We would once again want to welcome everybody, especially those joining us now. Please, so far, we've gotten to know who Dr. Osabutey is, what she does on her field, and her career so far. Please, if you have any question, kindly drop them. And if you are watching us on Facebook, please like our Facebook page and also subscribe to our YouTube. Now, we would want to move from the profession and then delve into the STEM field. And we are going to focus, or our emphasis is going to be on the field of medicine. Doc, please, what is your view on the field of STEM, its challenges and opportunities for young people?
So I think first and foremost, people misconstruct STEM to be more technology. I'm sure most people don't even know the definition of the whole STEM. They don't even know the breakdown that it entails: science, technology, engineering, maths. People tend to ignore some aspects, especially the science. I think the STEM it looks like something for more engineers. Yes. But the science also plays an important role. So I think we should try and incorporate all the people in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Trust me, this great combination is going to do wonders. As I said, combination, not in isolation. I don't think science alone is going to work if it's going to be in isolation. Technology alone is going to be work. But if it's combined, I think the outcome is going to be massive. And it's our duty as the young generation to think of ways to combine this field. And I think you guys are doing a great opportunity by trying to bring us together. The greatest start is to get everybody involved and then try to reason up and do things together. I think that's what I think is a bit of a challenge with STEM. We are not united. If I say we, the components of STEM are not united. We are more individualistic engineers, yeah. But I think when we come together as a group, so I was trying to read and people don't even deem medicine as STEM. So one person was like, so did you actually read science? Before you become a doctor, what course did you read? Science. And what is STEM? Science. So if you say medicine doesn't belong to STEM, then why did you read science? So I think we have to educate people and then try and get the body at large. I think that's one thing we all have to just try and do. And the young generation is our call. We have to just be ready to work together. Yeah.
Thank you, Doc. With a STEM field, there is this misconception people have that it's a field for male. I mean, the female tend to fear or shy away from STEM. What is your advice for the female or the ladies who are running away from STEM programs because of the idea that it's difficult?
So technically, I'm a woman who does things women don't do. That's who I am. Because I don't believe in the ideology that this is for a man and this is for a woman. I think it's only clothes that we have men and women. Even that one, you can even wear trousers that belongs to a man. It's not a bad idea. So I think I will encourage all females to just forget about the ideology that STEM is more for males, is energy involved because engineering need energy. No, you have to raise the family. Trust me, anything under this planet can be done if it's planned well. So there's nothing. So my department, we are only 3 women. Surgery is also a place everybody says is for men. Because if you're a woman, you don't have the strength. You have to family, because if you are at night, you have to call you for theater. And that has been my motivation for going to do it, because I don't believe that we have to say this is for a man. No, there's nothing really like that. We all need to work together. So I think I'll encourage all women to come on board. Trust us. STEM is awesome. You will love it than any other profession.
Wow, STEM is awesome than any other profession. To our ladies, our young ladies out there and our females listening to us today, I hope you heard from Doc. STEM is a very wonderful profession to be in. Don't be discouraged to join this wonderful profession or this wonderful field? Doc, we would want to know, as you said, even at your department currently, there are only 3 people there. We want to know if do women in the field of medicine have smooth and successful career? Can you tell us any of them that you know aside yourself?
Oh, so in the field of medicine, as I said, there are a lot of subspecialties. So the challenge is that most women run away to cooler specialties. The more relaxed one, the ones you can work from home, the ones that do not like, so other ones you don't have to be there. Most women actually go to other fields. So like pediatrics, you have very few men there. That's like a female department. It's more for females than for males. So women just tend to hide it. So generally in the field of medicine, I won't say there's some bias in the female part, but in some specialties like surgery, most women don't want to go to surgery because they believe that you won't have time, you can't raise a family. There's a misnomer. If you're a surgeon, you can never marry. You are like, there's this whole funny. And then unfortunately, I won't lie to you, a lot of the female doctors think like that. So they shy. People go like, wow, Anita, so you're in surgery. I'm like, yes. Hey, I can't believe it. And I was like, I still don't get why people make those comments. Because I believe that it's just about wherever you find yourself, you just have to plan alongside wherever you find yourself. And it's more, you do what you love. And if you love what you do, I have a friend say something that you never know if it's like you're tired. If you are doing something you love best. So you only get tired when you don't love it. So even if you love it, you can do a 72-hour non-stop. And trust me, you wouldn't know you've done 72 hours. But if you don't love something, in the next 2 hours, you just be looking at your time. I'm tired. Won't I go home? Won't I do this? So I think that as women, we should just do whatever we love and forget about the ideology and the concept that it will affect your family. You just need to plan and plan well. I think that's what I'll give to my other colleagues. They should all come and join SEGI, no bad at all.
Oh, I'm very happy right now for what you just said. I mean, encouraging the young ladies to join, because it's a misconception that people do have that when you have a career in the field of STEM, you don't have time for the family. And this is really troubling a lot of people from shying away from entering into the STEM field. Somebody just said something in our chat box and I would want to read it out. I don't know, Walales Tamlaklo. He said, today is the first time I'm hearing about STEM. My question is, at what point do you give up on your clients? I really don't understand this question, but I don't know. Doc, do you understand what he's saying?
When do you give up on your patients? So you extent, even if the patient give up on themselves. In as much as we have 4 crucial ethics, you have to be fair, just, equality. And then the next one is more do, no harm. In as much as do no harm, even if the patient has given up on himself. You see, some people can't give up on themselves and they'll go like, dog. Even at that point, you are not supposed to even give any medication to help, let's say, end the life. So you do what you have to do. There's nothing like giving up on your patients. I don't think that one is in our syllable. It's really not in our syllable. You do whatever practical you can do. Giving up is not really a part of our program. I think so. I can confidently say that. But sometimes certain things are beyond us. And then if you don't do those things, they think you have given up. No, Certain things can be beyond you. That is not equal to giving up, I think. So you don't give up.
Thank you. Wallace. Doc said, giving up is never an option. Please never give up on your dreams. Keep on, and you shall surely sail through it. Doc, there's another question. Is it possible for a person in the arts or social sciences degree to pursue a career in medicine? If yes, what is the steps or process needed?
So unfortunately for Ghana, no. But in some other countries, you can go. Some, I think Russia, China, some schools can take you. But even now, they are bringing a new regulation in Ghana body that you only have to do a degree, like a basic course in science before. So I'm sure with time, it will just be science. You can't really do general art and then move to medicine. Unfortunately, you have to write maybe the NOVDEC in science courses, but you cannot use general arts to enter. Not in Ghana. And then even if you want to, I'm sure by the time you come back, they already changed in 2022. Will just be limited to those who took integrated science as a course in secondary school and not any other. That's a new rule. So unfortunately.
Okay. Unfortunately, no. Please, to follow up to that submission you just gave, how about somebody who has pursued, let's say, engineering in a tertiary school and want to divert into the field of medicine? Must the person also go through the same process, or there's another process for that particular person?
So we have top-up courses, but it's only for those who did something medical, like for nurses, degree nurses. Some schools, UCC, they go and do top up. I think you miss a year or two and you just join the class, maybe second year, third year. But it's more inclined to those who do more medical, like nurses, because we presume the first year you did it. So you know a little bit about the physiology, anatomy, and those things. So you can skip a year or two and join the class. But for engineering, you have to also start from first year because we've never done any courses in common for you to skip a class. Yeah.
Thank you. Please, for those of us taking notes, those of us thinking of diverting at this point into medicine, please take note of the requirements so that after this, you put your plans and your pieces together and go for what you want. Doc, knowing all this, we want to know that if somebody had already studied the sciences courses at the SHS level, that's the high school, what are the personal characteristics do you feel like they are necessary for that particular person to be a medical doctor?
So I have one of my famous professors, he's a Roman father. He would say, medicine as a vocation and not a profession. So the career as a profession is a vocation. So more like you have to have a calling. That's how he says it. He says to come into the medical field, you require a calling. It's just like priesthood. It's just like any religious thing. The reason why he emphasizes that people think there's more monetary and those things, but trust me, you need to be devoted. You need to have a passion for human lives. And if you don't have that basic passion for human life, unfortunately, you might make all the money, but you don't really have self-actualization or self-satisfaction. So I think the basic requirement is having a sense of appreciation for human life. And they should be dedicated and devoted. Because our oath entitles us to be dedicated to save humans. But even sometimes at our own cost. So sometimes I use the theater as an example because maybe that's where I work. So we'll be in theater and then the patient is feeling so cold. We are feeling so hot. Everybody's sweating. You can't even concentrate. Trust me, ACs will go off because we put our patients first. So you have to have that sense of sacrificial and everything. It's supposed to be inbuilt. So that's why he emphasizes a calling. Most people think about the monetary aspects. The monetary aspects, I don't think it's as appealing to the outside because you have to be extra dedicated to the profession. I think that's what I can say.
Thank you. Dedicated, devoted, and you need to take medicine as a vocation and not a profession. It's a calling. Please, let's take notes because it's very, very, very important. Doc, someone is asking, what do you consider to be your best strength in your line of duty?
So I think my biggest strength is submission and then quick to learn, and also extreme attentiveness. Where I say submission and quick to learn is our career is more of a journey of learning. The learning never ends. At any point in time, you are learning. Anywhere you find yourself, you're learning new things and quick things and then new approaches. So being a quick learner, I think is a good strength for me. It helps me. Yeah. So.
Thank you, Doc. We would want to know, I know aside those of us who are already following what you are saying, there are some young people in the junior high school, I mean, the JHS2, JHS3, who are listening to us and would prefer to probably go into the field of medicine. What advice do you have for people out there who are interested in the field of medicine or may think of the part in STEM career? What do you tell them? That I'm focused on those in the junior high school because at this stage that people struggle to choose particular course. Someone once said that even at the junior high school, it might be difficult for you to choose what you really want because you might have a change of mind as you go forward. What advice do you give to our younger people out there?
So I have a trio I learned from somebody on Instagram. And it goes for the first G is that you should have a goal of what you want to be in life. And then you should know that there's a supernatural being somewhere, which is God, that supervises your goal. So it's more for the G. So have a goal and then just put forward your goal to the supernatural being God and see. The next one is dedication. I think most of us have a goal. Growing up, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. The goal is there, but the dedication is the issue. And most importantly, hard work. So people feel they are destined to be this. I don't believe in luck in life. I don't think so. I have a couple of my friends. I think the only place there's luck is American Embassy. That's where you're lucky to get a visa. Otherwise, I think in life, everything is about dedication and hard work. If you are dedicated and you put up to it, maybe with the first attempt, you won't get it. Second attempt, you won't get it. You just don't give up there. That's when the dedication plays a role. So I think that's what I'll tell upcoming people. Life is just about being dedicated. Hit your goal. Work towards it. The working is the issue. Most people hate to work. But if you work and you work well in a good manner, I think we will all hit our goals. So that's what I'll tell everybody. The trio, God, dedication, hard work. And then that's what I do. So in anything I want to do, I don't really give up. Even if you have a misfortune, I turn it upside down to make it a blessing in disguise. So I think that's what I will and treat everybody. And I don't think schooling and everything comes with money, no. I don't think so.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I think at this juncture, Doc is having issues with the internet, but would want to say that for the past few minutes, we've been learning a lot about the courses and things that are needed to pursue a career in medicine. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to drop them in the chat box. And on Facebook, you can leave your questions in the comment box for us to read. At this juncture, I would want to take people's view on the things that has been said so far. So I'll give an opportunity to someone to say a lesson that he or she has learned so far from all that she's saying. As we please let us hear your views, lessons that you've taken so far before the end of this session, just an hour session. What is your take home? What are you going to take home and what are you going to ponder upon? Let us know something new that you've learned today that you never knew. Is somebody ready to go for us? Okay, Cyril, please, can you tell us what you've taken so far from all that she's saying till now?
Thank you very much, Veronica, for hosting us. It's been an interesting session so far. And personally, I've also learned a few things, especially where she spoke about the drive to not giving up on your patients. You know, that part actually, struck me the most, because sometimes as young people, we are usually afraid of blood and we don't know how we are going to handle that circumstance in case we are in the surgery room. I think that particular aspect really touched me. And the second thing she said, which is also very important, and I want all young people who are listening like me to take note, is that medicine, as she said, shouldn't be a profession, but it should be a vocation. I think if I heard it right, it should be a vocation. So it means that it is not something that is putting bread on your table, but it is something that you are doing it from your heart, you are doing it with your hands, and you are doing it with your mind. What it means is that as you are doing it from your heart, it means you just give it your all. When you are doing it with your hands, what it means is that you are committed to it, you are hardworking, you are disciplined to it. And when you are doing it with your mind, it means you are adding a bit of intelligence, a bit of knowledge. You keep learning to become better. I think this session in the field of medicine has been eye-opening, and to all our young people who are listening, I'll tell you, don't give up. The future is still bright. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Cyril. That was very insightful. It tells a lot that we are taking notes and then we are learning something from today's session. Doc is back, but I'll give an opportunity to Wolalis say something or give his submission or her submission. Wolalis, can you please speak? Unmute yourself for us, please. All right. Thank you.
Evening. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Okay, from what I've also gotten, she talked about perseverance, determination. I like to add perseverance. You have to be determined and then you have to persevere. And about the profession being a vocation, I also learned from somewhere that it's not just a vocation, but it's also a profession. The vocation it deals much more with your moral aspects. Someone will say you can't be working without getting money, or you can just be working. So that's where the profession comes in. It's both a profession and then a vocation. You can choose one. If you want it to be your profession, that is where you're going to commit a lot of mistakes. And if it's just a vocation, you have to eat. You surely have to eat. So it's both vocation and then a profession. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'd want to welcome back Doc. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Please, before you left, there were some few questions in our chat box, which I would want to read. Someone said, we are told that your oath requires you to be present at work at all times. How do you combine family life and work?
It doesn't, so that's why it requires you to come to work when you're needed. And I don't think our schedule puts us, as I said, Monday I'm in a consulting room. Monday is my consulting room day. I'm on TSL, I'm in duty once a week. So Monday's consulting room is a short day, you have more time for your family. In as much as we swore on oath, I don't think the schedule puts us into 7 over 7, 24-hour cover. No, there's a lot of room. And I believe it's all planning. I think planning is the goal, to spend time with your family. Because as I said, you actually also have to learn to progress. So you have to balance family, learning, working. Very three things to balance. It's more how you plan and balance yourself. Yeah, so family, I don't think it's a challenge. Maybe because I don't have a family yet. The family people will have to say much about that. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much, Doc. At this juncture, we would want to look at the future. Doc, please, we want to know, are there resources available for the young people who want to have a career or pursue medicine? Are there resources, especially here in Ghana? If someone is to look at taking medicine as a career, are there resources available for these people?
Where resources like scholarships? I want to get the resource part.
Yes, like scholarship, labs, maybe internet.
Yeah. That's what you're trying to hear. So I think getting resources are readily available. You can just check on your internet, on your phone. That's why phones are there. You can read more. I think the clue is that reading. And then fortunately for us, gone were the days where you have to go and sit in some library somewhere and be looking for page numbers and then book numbers. Unfortunately for us, the book is all over. You just go to Google and then, what do I need to do to be a doctor? And I'm sure it'll give you all you need to do. So it's all around us. And I also think there are available scholarships. I think university gives a lot of scholarships. You just have to make the good grades, let people know your interest. And I think people will be ready to be on board. That one I can ascertain. I have a lot of stories of people who actually had all the 8 A's and then they didn't even have any funds, but they are doctors. Yeah, so I think that's the little I can say about that.
Don't keep your grades if they are good. Please go out there and get someone to help you.
Help you out, yeah. Even the university.
Doc, please, we would want to know that with this threat of technology and life changing daily, and our professional career, would the field of medicine be robust enough for more students in the future? Because their technology is taking over now. What do you think about this?
So I think it will even require more people. So fortunately for us, no matter how technology takes over, the human mind has to control it. Like even those robotic surgeries and things, is more human deducing because not everything is typical. In the body, it's not like your eye is here, your eye. You can go and have somebody's eye somewhere. So the technology bit is helping and it's making the work more easier. Now we have more subspecialties. So as I said, they have a doctor who is in charge of the eye. Now, if it's gone so down that they have a doctor who is in charge of only a particular part of the eye. That's where technology has made it. It's made it more subspecialized. So everything is broken down bits. So that's when you need a lot of people because the pieces has to be occupied by everybody. Initially, you have one person who used to see the whole body. Now one has to see the hands, the other the nose, the throat, all different people. So I think technology rather is bringing more people on board as opposed to make more the work, to reduce the load and the number of people. I think it's actually bringing more people because it's making it more complicated and you need more hands to control it. Yes, I think so.
I'll stop you. Then how then do you utilize the technology in medical schools or maybe in the field?
Oh, now maybe not in the technologies. Now even go outside, they do robotic surgeries. I don't know if you've heard of robotic surgeries.
Sure.
Yes. So now if it's to the extent that some surgeries are done robots, we say robots like machines, and you just be there directing them, take this out, do this. Initially, when there were surgeries that you have to open the person from up to toe, like make a big. Now, no, you just need a small cut. You just need some camera to accompany you. Just look and take what you have to take. So I think for medical school, technology hasn't really hit there much, at least even at an internet, laptop. So we have our laptops, we have slides. Yes, that's more, but it hasn't really hit there much in terms of practical aspects. But in terms of the teaching, it's helped a lot. Books and stuff. So I think technology is actually invading our discipline very hard.
Thank you, Doc. Viewers out there, at this point, we would want to know if anyone has a question or any submission. Please let us know. Here on Zoom, you can drop your question in the chat box or wave us. On Facebook, you can also leave your question in the comment box and it will be read here to our speaker. Now we are about ending, and I want to ask these last two questions, then we end our session for today. Doc, please, this is a bit personal, so I would want you to tell us so that at least those of us coming up would watch and then learn the steps that you are taking. Where do you plan on staying in this field, or you intend to move away from the field of medicine? I mean, what's the future in 5 or 10 years to come?
So actually, to make it big in the field, I dream of being an orthopedic surgeon. So hopefully by 10 years, 5 is not adequate, no? 5 is so not adequate. So hopefully by 10 years, I'll get to my goal of being an orthopedic surgeon and then try and work well. I think that's my ultimate goal. And I'll add some teaching someday and lecture in medical schools. That's the goal.
Another one. I would say that I'll ask for your advice that you give for young people out there. I mean, we've had you on this session for. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. We've had you on this session for almost an hour, and we can't leave you without taking your last remarks before you leave. But before then, what are what advice do you have for viewers listening or are deciding about their future?
So I think I'll start a little bit with STEM. And I think that the youth of today, I think we should come together and make something great out of STEM. Science people come on board, technology, engineers, mathematicians. I think we have to spread the news. That's one thing. Most people don't know about it. Most people haven't heard about it. So that's my advice to this foundation, to help preach the word. And to everybody, I think my greatest advice is my trio. Let's have a goal and then put it up to God. Let's be really dedicated. And as Wallace also added, more perseverance in addition to the dedication. And let's work towards our goal. Very important. The aim shouldn't be about ourselves, but about the country at large, making history and everything. We should aim very high. I think that's what I'll tell everybody. Yeah.
Thank you. Before you leave, please, Wallace, ask the question, please. Please, you can speak.
I don't have any. Yeah, I'd like to know more about STEM and then how best the foundation can reach out to the typical villages, as in those down. If you're able.
Wallace, please, can you
Hi.
carry with yes. Please,
Yeah,
can you?
I'm saying.
Right. Please, we can hear you. Go on.
Personally, first time I'm hearing about STEM. I can hear you.
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
As I'm saying, I wish the foundation takes this to inform more, the information to go more, because more you come on board and then more from this foundation.
Thank you very much, Wallace. I think if I could clearly hear you, you're trying to say that our foundation should reach out to the younger ones more. Please, is that what you are saying? Hello? Okay. His network is very bad. Wow. Thank you, everyone. Personally, I have learned a lot today. Some few notes that I took out of everything that Doc told us today is to have plan ahead and do what we love. I mean, you should do what we love, and in any place that you find yourself, you should be dedicated and devoted to what you do. You should also be submissive and then quick to learn wherever we find ourselves. For young people out there that are coming up and have interest in the STEM field, it is important that you take note of everything that Doc have said today as to coming from school, you need to get good grades and then pursue your dream. Everything that she said today, I mean, aside academic requirements, she stated that we need to be curious and have passion for whatever that you do. By doing so, that you won't give up on whatever that you decide to do. So you should be very curious and we should have passion for the things that we do or for the career, whatever career that we want to take, even if it's outside the field of STEM, you should be passionate about it. At this juncture, I would ask our sister Augustina to give us any comment or any announcement if she have any. If she doesn't, we'll call it a day. Please, Augie, can you please give us your comments, and if there are announcements, let us know.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anita, and our host, Ms. Veronica, and everyone who joined us today. We would like you to also share these videos out there to reach out so that it can reach our young ones whom we are trying to groom to get into the field of STEM. And then also, so now we have a YouTube channel that is Teen Lead Foundation. And then also we have our Facebook page. So please like our Facebook page, try and then share these videos, let it get out there, let it get to our young ones, and then let them try to learn from it, because they are our main focus here. We want them to get into the STEM program. We know there are adults out there like us who are also yet to make decisions on which fields they want to get into. I, for one, I made a decision to get into environmental engineering after my bachelor's degree, after working 1 year in the mining company as a mechanical engineer. So there are still people out there making decisions. So please try and share these videos and let it get to people. And I know it's going to help all of us. It's going to make an impact in all our lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Even though we are ending, but this is not the end of our training or our discussion. If you have any question, you can still reach out to us, or you can reach out to Doc for your question. Maybe you are shy, you can still contact us with your question, and we are readily available to answer all questions, because this is what we do. We are to mentor, coach, and then help the young ones out there. It is an opportunity for us during this pandemic to let people realize what they are capable of, opportunities out there at this time, and even those that they are intent of giving up education because schools have been closed down. Never give up. On behalf of Teen Led Foundation, we want to say a very big thank you to Doc for taking time out of her busy schedules to join us tonight. This was very insightful, and I know you've been an inspiration to a lot of people out here, especially those who may not know exactly what path to take. And to our wonderful viewers, we are very, very grateful to you all for spending your time with us.